Today's practice is centered around the theme of remembrance, and it's a really simple concept, but we disconnect from it pretty much all day, every day long, which is to remember that this body that you get to inhabit, it's a gift. The skin, the muscles, the cells, nothing is going to come together in the way that it has to form your body ever again. This is special. And in the tradition that this practice is based on, we believe that your body is such an incredible gift that it's divine and worthy of great reverence. So as we move today, we're going to explore this idea through the physical practice. And in many traditions, there's a pranam or a bow that happens when you are being more introspective, when you're remembering, when you're being grateful for something. So we're going to unpack that shape throughout this whole practice of softening the front body, which is the ego body, and opening the universal or the back body. So we're going to start in child's pose with your knees wide and your big toes touching, but we're going to use blocks and a bolster to support. So if you don't have a bolster, don't worry. Just come into child's pose, maybe with the block underneath your forehead. I have one block at the highest height, one at the medium, and then the bolster's there just to support belly, and Vertina right now it's supporting her forehead, which is great. And start to deepen your breath, and with an awareness of the back of your body. So I want you to imagine that there were gills on your back waist between your lower back ribs and the top of the back of your pelvis. And breathe really deeply into that part of your body. Full inhale to expand, a complete exhale to soften. We spend so much time in the front body, looking forward, moving forward, communicating, connecting. Very rarely do we unplug and draw back into ourselves, and this is what this practice is about. See if you can expand your ribs even more, like you're trying to stretch the back of your body with your breath. And let that deepen your breath. So now transitioning into your Ujjayi pranayama if you haven't already. So you're inhaling and exhaling through your nose with a very gentle tone at the back of your throat, but you're really breathing into these imaginary gills on the back of your body. And slowly walk your hands to right in front of your knees and come up to sit. We'll clear the props. You'll come onto your hands and knees for cat and cow. Just 3 rounds to warm up. Inhale, feel the expression of cow in your body, sitting bones lifting, belly stretching, gaze and heart lift. Exhale, round, and cat's where it's at today. This waist lifting and big expansion through the back of the body. Inhale into cow. Exhale, round into cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, round to cat. Now feel the contraction of the belly, the lower ribs knitting in. We get this big stretch along the low back. I want you to maintain some of this as you slide your sternum forward and find tabletop, which is the neutral position between cat and cow. Just a little more melting. There you go. So belly stays lifted. And we're going to do this with 5 exhales. So you're going to push the breath out through your nose. Those of you who know Breath of Fire, almost like that. But what I want you to do is a sharp contraction in your belly. So draw your belly in as you exhale, in again as you exhale, and keep going 5 times. So it's like you're drawing your belly button straight back toward your spine. Yeah. Triggering the response in the abdominal wall. Good. And then settle into a tabletop, but still keeping that awareness where your belly button is really drawing in and slightly up. Walk your knees back and come into downward facing dog. So we're going to move into an exploration of a cat-cow-dog sequence. So pedal a little bit here. Do what you need to do to feel steady in your dog. And as always, I always recommend bend knees and down dog so that you can angle the base of your pelvis up more, which effectively lengthens your spine. And once the spine is aligned, then we can effectively do all the other actions. And here today, drawing the belly in and up, knitting the lower ribs in, finding an expansion across the back of the waist. As you inhale, lower your knees, open up into cow. As you exhale, round to cat and press right back to child's pose. Inhale, come back forward into cow so the knees can stay parallel. It's sort of a modified child's when we get there. Exhale, round into cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale back to downward facing dog. So we'll alternate. Right away, drop the knees. Inhale to cow. Exhale, cat, right to child's. Just keep your shins parallel, press your hips to your heels. Inhale, shift forward to cow, open the heart, look forward. Exhale, right back to downward facing dog. Inhale, knees down, find cow. Exhale, round cat to child's. Inhale, shift forward to cow. Exhale, right back to dog. And now we've got it. Let's do it one more time. Lower your knees. Inhale to cow. Exhale, cat, child's. Inhale to cow. Exhale back to down dog, and we'll hold here. Again, if you need, just do a little pedal, maybe wiggle. And once you settle, weight even in the hands, tops of the thighs pressing back. Inhale and lift your right leg up. Exhale, draw your knee to your chest and round your back like cat. Inhale, extend the leg up and back behind you. Exhale, lower the right foot down. Lift your left leg up. Exhale, pull your knee to your chest and round. Inhale, extend back. Lower the left foot down. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, pull the knee to your chest. This time, place your foot towards your right thumb tip. Now pause here. Either you're on your fingertips, they frame your front foot, or you're high up on your blocks. Scissor your legs together, meaning root the toe mounds of the back foot, root the front foot, and squeeze them in so there's almost a lift at the core of your pelvis. This is our support. This is also the start of being able to connect to this bowing action. Now push the floor away a bit and round your back like you're about to do cat. Keep that action in your belly, but slide your shoulder blades onto your back. And now see if you can hover your fingertips off the floor without resting your belly on your front thigh. Take a deep breath in. Stay steady in your legs. Slide your hands onto your front thigh. I call this bowing crescent. So bend your back knee, scoop your buttocks under, and lead with the back of your waist. Bow up and stretch your arms up for crescent. Now, a back knee bent today is going to be a really good tool to keep anchoring your tailbone down and lifting your belly in and up. Keep knitting the lower ribs in. That's you're bowing in the lower back. You're remembering that this body is a gift. Now shine it out. Lift the heart up, curl the head back. Take one more big breath in. Exhale your hands down. Step right back to downward facing dog. Settle, both feet, both hands. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale the left knee into your chest. Round like crazy. Place your foot towards your thumb tip. Scissor your legs together so the toe mounds on the back foot root, the front foot roots, and hug in. So much so that you can start to push the floor away and start to dome a low back. Keep your shoulder blades onto your back, and now see if you can let your fingertips hover. Beautiful. Slide your hands onto your front thigh. Make sure that knee stays tracking with the center of the ankle. And look toward your belly button. And we're going to make it even more exaggerated. Round up into your crescent. Slowly rise, leading with the back of your body as you stretch your arms over your head. Leading with the intention to remember. Leading to remember that this body is a gift. We got lucky this time around. No matter what the challenges are that are happening in your life right now, you're on your mat doing yoga. There's a lot that's right, even if there's also a lot that's challenging you right now. Take one more big breath in. Exhale the hands to the ground. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale and shift forward to plank pose, which is the top of our push-up. Keeping your shoulders really well aligned, so you're not collapsing the shoulders, you're not overly pushing into your hands, but you're right in the middle, shoulder blades firm on the back. And I want you to find a real connection to your low belly. So this is a really terrible analogy, but terrible in a good way. So imagine that there was a weight at your tailbone and it was just trying to push your pelvis down toward the floor. Against that weight, lift your belly in and up. And that should start to really activate the deeper abdominal wall. Take one more inhale. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop your feet to your hands. Lengthen on the inhale, fold on the exhale. Inhale and rise to stand. Arms up, gaze up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Release your arms. So here's our Surya Namaskar A flow with this very mindful awareness of the back of the body. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Don't let the lower ribs flare out. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, half lift, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step back to plank. I'd like you to step today for plank. Weight on your tailbone, you're lifting your belly. Lower down, chaturanga. Keep lifting your belly as you lower to low push-up. Inhale into cobra pose or upward facing dog. That's up to you. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Just for 3, 2. Don't let those lower ribs flare out. Bottom of the exhale, step or hop your feet to your hands. Lengthen on the inhale, fold on the exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Lengthen on the inhale. Plant your hands, step, or hop back if you really can't resist it, but really try to find belly lifting as you lower to your chaturanga and even as you're hovering if you jumped. Inhale into your back bend. Beautiful. Back to downward facing dog. Yeah. Let's just take one deep breath in. Bottom of the exhale, step. If you're hopping, really draw your belly in and up as you hop forward. Lengthen, fold in. Rise to stand. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Last one. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Lengthen on the inhale. Plant hands, step, or hop. Lower down, forward and down. Inhale into your back bend and back to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Bottom of the exhale, step or hop your feet forward. Lengthen on the inhale, fold in on the exhale. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale and stretch up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Lengthen on the inhale. Step back or hop back. This time you're going to lower all the way to your mat. Lower your forehead to the floor and clasp your hands at your low back. Interlace your hands so your thumbs kind of rest at your sacrum, which is the flat triangular bone in between the two sides of the back of the pelvis, and move your thumbs down an inch from there to really help root your tailbone down. Try to lift your belly off the floor as you press your legs into the floor. Lift your chest, lift your head for a variation on Shalambhasana. You can now lift your hands off your butt and stretch them back toward your heels, but keep your tailbone rooted. Try to lift through the belly as we're opening the heart. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, lower back down. Plant your hands next to your chest, fingertips like in line with nipple line. Press onto your hands and knees and back to downward facing dog. And we're going to try Vashisthasana modified or full form. So if you're modifying, I'm going to give you a kickstand variation. So shift forward like you're going to come to plank. You're going to come to the right hand and the outer edge of the right foot for Vashi. Draw your belly in and up as you lift your left arm up. If you need to modify, you'll step your left foot, and we'll do it here on the mat. Step the left foot in front of your right as a kickstand so you have a little extra support. If you're doing full form, great. Keep your feet stacked, stretch your top arm over your head. Now I want you to start to explore a back bend, but not at the expense of the belly drawing in and up. Take one more inhale, left hand down, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Second side, left hand outer edge of the left foot, and you'll be able to see it a little bit more clearly. So if you're curious about the modified version, take a look up at your computer. Your right foot goes right in front of your left knee, and we'll step this just a little bit more forward. Press your hips up higher. External rotation in your upper arm. We've been working on that. Take your top arm over your head, and as you turn your heart up toward the ceiling, keep drawing your belly in and up. There you go. Both hands to the floor, downward facing dog. Walk your feet to the middle of your mat and walk your hands back to your feet. Nice bend in your knees for this moment here. Big breath in, full breath out. Keep your knees bent and round up to stand. Trying to lead with the back of the body. Beautiful. With your feet together, big toes hugging in, bend your knees for Utkatasana chair pose. Now this is just a little fun, quote unquote fun. It might not be fun to you, but a good challenge for our balance. Lift your heels up high and try to squat your hips all the way down to your heels. Good. See if you can stand back up with your heels lifted. Pass through chair, come all the way up to stand. Keep your heels lifted, bend your knees, and come back down, butt to your heels. Ooh, it's so hard. Come all the way down. Good. And you can bring your hands straight out in front of you. Let's take the knees nice and wide. We're going to prep for bakasana or crane pose, sometimes known as crow pose. But what's required in bakasana is the deep rounding in the low back while you maintain a big opening in the heart. So place your hands on the mat and walk your hands a little bit forward out in front of you, but stay on finger tops. Arms straight, really push down into your fingertips to round your back, almost like you're starting a cat variation here. So this is what we want to maintain for our power. And then slide your hands back so your elbows meet your shins and root your hands down. Now, you can already see Tina's working at the heart opening, even though the belly's lifting. And you just start to play with balance. So shift slightly forward. Your butt will certainly lift. And weight in your hands, heart open, belly lifted. And maybe you lift one foot up to meet your pelvis, and then lower it. It's like a little bakasana dance, and then lift the other foot up and lower it. Friends who are newer to this, placing a block at the highest height, a little more than a foot out in front of you, gives you the aim for where your forehead could rest if you needed it. And those of you who can do one foot at a time and want to try both, go for it. Lift both feet up. Do it from the power of the back waist. Breathe deeply into those imaginary gills on the back of your waist. One more nice big breath in. Land your feet. Forward bend. Straighten your legs, let your head hang. Shake out your head a little bit. Yes and no. Walk your hands forward and come into downward facing dog. If you want to hit pause and do that another couple times, play with that for a few minutes, you are so welcome to do that. Right knee forward, pigeon. So the right knee lands right behind the right wrist when you're in down dog. Forward fold over your legs. Now this is a variation I've been really liking lately, so try it on if you have the blocks. One block, and you have to just position it accordingly, right at the center of your chest, and one block at your forehead, so you really get to soften here. It doesn't have to be the most active. Yeah, and if you also have a bolster, that's a nice way to do it too. Breathe. Come back to the breath, that gill-like breath on the back of your body. And just that simple awareness of plugging back into an experience of anything on the back plane of our body connects us to the universal, it connects us to the bigger picture, it gives us a different point of view. Come up onto your hands. Scoot your right foot so it's pointed back toward your left hip. This is probably plenty of a thigh stretch for most of you. I want you to keep working this waist back action. Try not to overarch your low back as you reach back with your left hand to grab your left foot for a thigh stretch. May or may not happen. That's of very little importance. As you lift in your upper body and pigeon, you're getting a release and stretch in the left thigh. Any variation is great here. Mermaid, moving closer toward Ekapada Rajakapotasana. 2 or 3. Good. Whoa, beautiful. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release the foot if you have it. Hands to the ground, downward facing dog. Left knee forward, pigeon. In these shorter practices, we don't often have the luxury of spending a ton of time forward folding on the floor. So this practice is really designed to capture that. Breathe deeply. And sometimes when we start to slow down, it's harder for us to stay focused. Just notice if that's where you're at right now. And keep tethering yourself back to your breath. Keep pulling yourself back onto the sensation of your mat. Pelvis level, sacrum level. You're not leaning to the right. You're not leaning to your left. You're balanced, both left to right. Don't feel like you have to use the blocks. This is just something that I've been really enjoying lately, but you can just fold forward the way you normally do. It does enable a little bit more surrender and release, so try it on if you haven't. Just 2 more breaths. And come up. Adjust your left foot so it's pointed back toward your right hip. Reach back and grab your right foot for a thigh stretch. Filling in your waist, puffing up through the back of the body. So the back of the pelvis, it's like a loop. It moves down and the front hip points lift up. And then any variation you'd like. 3 more breaths. Beautiful. 1 more inhale. Exhale, release. Downward facing dog. And you can scoot your blocks off to the side if you've been working with them. Walk your feet forward to your hands. And however is easiest for you, for a little extra challenge, you could bend your knees and try to lower your butt to the floor as you reach your arms straight out in front of you to come to sit, or just come to sit, however is easiest. Janu Shirsasana. So find yourself on the hips basically middle toward back of the mat. Extend your left leg and fold your right leg in. So I'm just gonna have you give yourself a little adjustment here, a manual adjustment. So bring your right hand to your inner left thigh and your left hand to your outer left hip and spiral the flesh down and widen it out. You kind of lean to the right to create that rotation. Bring your left fingertips outside of your left thigh, lift your right arm up. Lengthen through both sides of the waist. We want to make sure the low back is moving in and up. So we don't want to round or dump in the sacrum. So you're lengthening as you fold out over your leg. Reach your left hand forward too, because that's going to clear space in the left side of the waist for you to move the rib cage laterally over the left leg. Keep breathing deeply. This is a forward fold, so it naturally creates the broadening and expansion through the low back. So we don't quite have to work that hard here to find and capture that essence. We do want to make sure the low back is curving in and up, so you're not dumping and rounding in your back, but you're lifting up out of the pelvis as you fold forward. Inhale and come back up. Extend the right leg, pause for a full round of breath. And so just take a look here if you're newer. I don't want you dumping, so round in your back, like really, compromise the low back. I don't want you dumping in the low back like that at all. So you might have to sit up on a bolster or a blanket or a block to get the low back to curve in and up. Another tool is fingertips behind you, pressing down and back to lift the low back in and up. Fold your left leg in. Manually inner spiral the right leg. So left hand of the inner right thigh, right hand of the outer right thigh. Spiral the flesh down and widen it out. Lift up through the left arm and twist and fold over your right leg. Walk your right fingertips out in front of you so you have length through the right side of the waist. That's beautiful. As you move laterally toward your right thigh and fold in, keep rooting the left thigh down. With every inhale, you might be able to find a little more length. With every exhale, folding over your leg. Inhale and slowly come back up. Extend your legs straight out in front of you. Either blocks underneath your knees or knees bent. Feet wide as your hips. This is kind of a funky version of Paschimottanasana or a forward fold. Grab your feet, so bend your knees as much as you need to be able to grab your feet. You could give yourself the support of blocks or bolster underneath your knees. I want you to find belly and thighs touching, so that might mean the knees are really bent. And try to angle your knees toward your armpits or aim them toward your armpits as you lengthen and fold. And you might find your head is just kind of like hanging down there. Using a block to rest your forehead is really nice. Inhale and exhale. And we remember, inhale and exhale. This breath is a gift. Inhale and exhale. Being in this body is a privilege. Inhale and exhale. And this will never happen again. You composed cells, skin, muscle, bones, the way you are, mind and heart. This is a unique moment in time. Keep your legs bent, slowly come up. Bend your knees more. Either roll to your side or you can roll down your spine to come lying down onto your back. Bend your knees and let's cross the right thigh over the left. And then lift your hips up and scoot your butt a couple inches to the right. Hug your knees into your chest and let your knees drop to the left side of the mat, right arm out to the right. And just breathe deeply here, starting to surrender into the support of the mat. Inhale onto your back. Scoot your hips to the middle, uncross, recross the other way so the left thigh is on top. Scoot your butt a little bit to the left, knees in and over to the right. Inhale onto your back. Uncross. Hug both knees into your chest. Make sure you're in the middle of your mat. Take a deep breath in. Release your legs. Shavasana. And if your low back is curving away from the floor quite a bit, I'd like you to bend your knees, take your feet wide, and let the knees knock in. So I want the back to settle into the floor. Yeah, you might even manually lengthen the buttock flesh away from your shoulders. Feet wide, arms out to the sides, and rest. As always, if you want to linger here for 3, 4, 5 minutes more, please do. If you're ready to get on with your day, deepen your breath. Place one hand on your belly and one hand onto your heart and feel the breath moving in and out of your body, reawakening from the inside out. Just say thank you to yourself. Thank you for this gift that is this body that enables you to do all the things you do. Bend your knees, roll to your side, right side, left side, whatever feels better. Slowly press up to a comfortable seated position. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Bow your head to your heart, and we say this word namaste. It can translate to mean the light in me bows to the light in you. So as someone who practices yoga, you have a responsibility to remember to remember your own radiance, to remember your own unique individuality. And then once you do that, you have a responsibility to see it in others. So thank you for sharing this time with me. Namaste.